I'm Nick from Board Deck and Dice. Many reviewers stand in front of their game shelves to review things. Being as most of my games are spread on the floor like this, I'm casually leaning on a pile whilst I conduct this review of Chronicles of Crime. Welcome to Redview. Welcome to Redview continues the Chronicles of Crime series, but takes it in a different direction. Rather than being a detective, either in the noir period or the modern period, and having access to forensics and all that sort of thing, you are a group of kids in the 80s, similar to a TV show that rhymes with Ranger Brings. In this game, for the first time, you will choose a character that is consistent throughout the 4 or 5 episodes that there are. I can't remember why. I can't remember how many there are. But there's at least 4 and possibly 5. And that character has stats, has energy, and there will be some dice rolling for skill checks. Now, how does this impact the Chronicles of Crime game? Well, it takes in a slightly different direction and shows the strength of the app that Lucky Duck have created. In that app, the storytelling and the multiple routes to the same conclusions are really, really exciting. They've been used in 2 different ways, in crime and in noir. You particularly had things like intimidating, which could change the way a person related to you. And here, the skill checks add a bit of luck and a bit of variety. Now, sometimes these skill checks don't seem to matter that much in terms of you could just try it again and all you've wasted time. And it would be nice to see a kind of combination of when you fail a skill check, someone like, there was one where I was trying to listen in on a conversation per se. I failed it, so I just rolled again. I just did it again. The app let me do it again. It wasn't an option that passed. Now, maybe that's because I still had enough time left. Maybe if my time had been shorter, that option might not have presented itself. But whenever I failed, the opportunity was there to try again, and it had no consequences other than losing a bit of time. So it would be nice to see them implement more gravitas to the failing. So there's also the chance that you could just play it through and just assume that the app doesn't check your dice roll. It doesn't view the dice roll and make sure you're telling the truth. You actually have to say that you've succeeded. So you could just go through and assume you succeed everything you want to do. So that layer of addition kind of is take it or leave it on your kind of morals and ethics about cheating. But I really enjoyed the fresh story. I enjoyed the mysteries here. I enjoyed the kind of cross between Scooby-Doo, Stranger Things, and the familiar Chronicles of Crime setup. It does end up feeling very different to the other 2, which did feel different from each other, but was still in that crime-centric universe. There is crimes, mysteries to solve in here, but because of the point of view of being teenagers and having a curfew and having to be in by a certain time or face the wrath of your parents, there it does present a different feel. So I think my favourite is still probably the first one, although I'd like to see the kind of options from the second one in a kind of modern setting. But I did enjoy this one. The dice rolling did not put me off. I don't mind a bit of luck in a game. I enjoyed having a character that I chose to progress, not just, in the other 2 you're assigned a character. In this one you have your character sheet, you have your stats, and seeing where this could go. Lucky Duck have already announced, in collaboration with Mythic Games, an app based in the Time of Legend. Is it Time of Legends? So they did Joan of Arc, Mythic, and the Time of Legends is a big franchise thing now, or IP. And Lucky Duck and Mythic have teamed up to do Destinies, which are going to have this app-driven nature as well. And from what I can see from the Chronicles of Crime thing, it's going to work really well. They've chosen the right people to do this app-focused, story-driven narrative. It is hands down one of my favourite story-driven experiences. I don't normally go for story-driven ones where it's read from a page. I like to use my imagination. But the way the app does it, you get to do both. It's kind of the best of both worlds. I think Chronicles of Crime is well worth checking out for almost every type of gamer. and adding in this one if you want something a bit different to see the potential of the app. The expansions don't cost much, they all fit in the base box. This is just an empty box. The tricks of board game reviewing. Then you may as well add it to the box. It's another option. It's the app keeps getting added to. Users can create their own scenarios with bits from all the different expansions. This is just a no-brainer for me at the price point and the content you get there and the continuing support. Lucky Duck have hit a real winner with the Chronicles of Crime, and it is an exciting thing to look to the future as this develops even more and the technology gives them even more options. So, intimidation factor, hardly any, unless you don't like using a mobile phone or a tablet. It's just straightforward. You barely even have to read the rules. In this one you have to read the rules a little bit more because there was dice throwing, but literally you're rolling it and checking a number and you get to re-roll if you spend an energy. Rulebook, it's barely there, so it doesn't need to be there because of the technology. And fun, this is a lot of fun either as a solo or with friends, passing the phone around, examining crime scenes, using your logical reasoning. I recently had the misfortune to play one of the Undo games, and that just showed me how worlds apart the idea of using cards to tell a story and the idea of using an app. We had to kind of make non-logical jumps, whereas in Chronicles games the logic is there. You hit upon a clue, you get shown something else. It's just totally different, and I would never play an Undo game again, basically, but this is just worlds apart from it and highly recommended. I had a lot of fun with it, and it absolutely will be staying in my collection. It's one that I can play, it's one that I can pass around my friends, they can play, when they've played it, can come back and I can go and do the same case, and different things that I didn't even discover the first time appear. Chronicles of Crime gets a high recommendation from me. Thanks very much for watching Board Deck and Dice. I'm going to go and put some more games on the floor. See you next time.